Hey guys, hope you enjoy the view. No, so last time I watched, was it like cutscenes? I think it was from the Archon quest. This is just 17 best cutscenes in Genshin Impact. And right now it's Signora's death, which, you know how she would have survived this? There's one simple thing that she should have known. One simple little fact, a little detail she might have maybe glanced over or just didn't know. And it's the little simple fact that
none can contend with the supreme power of the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi.
Because if she did know that none could contend with the supreme power of the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi, she wouldn't have died. She wouldn't have died.
So strong, but how? I am a Snezhnayan diplomat. You know what happens if you lay a finger on me. I swear, if you strike me, I will make sure. The Matui will make sure that your precious Inazuma... Stop! I order you! And you! Filthy rats! All of you!
None can contend with the supreme power of the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi. And there's a very good reason for that. I love how Signora just kind of thinks like she can command the Raiden Shogun to just stop, and she's keep throwing things out like, oh well, I'm a Fatui diplomat, I'll make sure the Fatui, and then she just realizes that there's nothing she can do. There's nothing she can do. Like, this bitch doesn't realize that there's an entire gorge that was formed because this chick casually swiped her sword and not only formed the gorge, but also managed to kill Orobashi. You know, that giant snake? Yeah, she killed him. Casually, by swiping her freaking sword, and it made that entire gorge, and it's still electrified. But sure, Signora, please, tell me how you think you have a chance of standing against the supreme power of the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi. Wow, John, I really like how you worked that one in there. I know. Adam's like, Grandpa, your silliness has awoken me from my deep slumber. Adam, you want to come say hello to everyone? Come on. There we go. Hello. Is the baby? Yes, she is. Even though he's not a baby, he's almost 1. But whether it be 1 year old or 5 years old or 12 years old, they're always babies. They're always babies. Yeah, they are. Mwah, mwah. The grandpa's boy. The grandpa's boy. Mwah. Can Grandpa record now? He's like, Grandpa, I'm not stopping you. Bless you. I heard a little sneeze come out.
You are the enemy of eternity. But as the victor, I acknowledge your honor. Therefore, I shall allow you to leave Tenshukaku alive.
Number 16. We have Child versus Narwhale.
Yeah, so this was a big moment, mainly because it just showed how strong Child is. So if you know anything about delusions, which is, the foul legacy form, that's what he's using. Now we learn in Inazuma when we go to Watatsumi Island and we talk to Tepe and all that, the more you use it, the more it drains you. Eventually, they went from these young men to looking extremely old. Their hair was gray and they were weak because the delusion drained them, which he eventually died. But this dude was in his foul legacy form, using his delusion for an unspecified amount of time. We don't know how long this dude was fighting the narwhal. And all that we saw happen to him was his armor cracked a little bit. Now, when we finally see him again, he's completely passed out, and that's when Skirk, as the kids would say, yeets him through the portal. But this dude was down there for an unknown amount of time, fighting probably in this form because it had more, it was more effective. Like I said, it's a big deal because it drains you. So only an extremely powerful person would be able to withhold that form for that long, to the point where he doesn't die or grow old looking. His armor just chips and he passes out. So there was a huge moment, and it was good to see him do something, because at this point, even though Neuvillette could have taken care of it by himself, he couldn't at that moment, but he could have if his powers were restored to him before. So had he been the full Hydro Dragon Sovereign, yeah, that dude could have snapped his fingers and that thing would have poof, dead. But huge moment. And it was also cool to kind of see Child and Neuvillette kind of work together, considering their previous interaction with each other. But it was cool. That whole cutscene was just, I love the colors, the purplish, the blue, and it looks like something like a computer. You have like the wireframe type thing going on, and it just shows that it's not from this world. But also, I the next one, I have to do it because it's a special number. Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. No, number 15, probably one of the coolest moments of the old Genshin Impact. The Jade Chamber sacrificed. Such a great moment.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber. What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Coming.
So, yeah, turning the Jade Chamber into a fucking nuke. So, Osial, Lord of the Vortex, was imprisoned by Zhongli, or rather, Rex Lapis, ages ago. And when you go to the Gaiunstone Forest, that's not a natural mountain rock formation. Those were spears that Rex Lapis threw into the water to pin this guy below. He imprisoned this Osial beneath the waves underneath Stone Forest. Again, they're not natural. Those are stone spears that Rex Lapis hurled down at the guy. So it also shows the power of Zhongli, probably in his prime. But yeah, this was a huge moment because Zhongli wanted to kind of retire. He's like, I'm tired of being a god. I've been here taking care of this nation for 3,700 years, and I think it's just time that the people learn to take care of themselves. Like, do they really need an Archon taking care of them now? With how far we've progressed in technology, do they really need the protection of a god, or can they rule themselves now? So he sets up this whole thing with Saritsa, who is the Cryo Archon. So in return of her kind of lending aid to him and his cause, he would hand over his Gnosis to her, which obviously a mutually beneficial transaction, because he didn't want the thing to begin with, really. Because I think he says in his story quest that he felt it eating away at him and eroding him, like a boulder, getting hit with the waves, at how it erodes. So he saw it as a mutually beneficial transaction. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll give you my Gnosis, and it's not, they had the contract. He's like, I just ask of, your silence. I don't want people knowing what I'm doing, but I just need the help of your Fatui, and, I got my people, the Chi-Sing and everyone else in Liyue that, I'll gather. I just need your Fatui to kind of start a little mischief. I want them to kind of do this to unleash Osial, because, Osial is someone I had to put down. So if they can handle that, surely they can handle whatever else comes their way. And the Saritsa's like, okay. Child, you, all of them, you go help him. Go help him. But obviously Zhongli was happy with the turnout because we prove that we can take care of ourselves, and we don't need divine intervention coming through for us. And it's even brought up in the story. It's like, well, what would have happened if it reached a breaking point and we couldn't take care of ourselves? And Signora was like, no, he would just appear. He would, it would be too easy, because I think it was Paimon was like, would you just, show up and, kind of set things straight and kind of show your divine power? And Signora's like, yeah, it would have been too easy for him. He could have just shown up and just poof, right back into the water you go, buddy. See you in another couple thousand years. But it was a great story, and up until that point, which we only had Mondstadt, up until that point, that was the best Archon quest. Nowadays, it's debatable between most people, Sumeru and Fontaine, but that finale of the Natlan Archon quest was, as the kids say, peak. It really was. The story was good. The cinematics were good. It was emotional. And that's what you want. You want to be able to, like, I'm sad it's over. But anyway, number 15. So, number 14.
Coming out at number 14, we have We Will Be Reunited.
I just have to say, I said this before, we will be reunited. 4 words that sparked so much passion in the Genshin community. So much passion has come from those 4 words. We will be reunited. It's insane. It is insane how much passion that people have for those 4 little words. We want nothing more than to see the siblings together again. And then when we finally thought in bedtime stories, we thought nope. It's like, oh, by the way, Kari Bear is dead, so all this is going to disappear. And guess what? Best of all, we're not going to remember anything we talked about together. You're not even going to remember that you saw me. And you're like, why, Hoyo? Why are you doing this to us? We want nothing more than to see these 2 reunited. But now that we know what the Abyss twin is doing, we can kind of understand why she doesn't want to just appear, why she kind of keeps a watchful eye on her brother without ever really getting close or interfering. She could, but she outright says that, I can't even face myself sometimes, let alone my brother. So, but this was.
X Genshin is from limited time event. So this is no longer in the game, but still made it into the list. At number 13, we have Cryo Albedo Fight.
It's not over yet.
Coming at
Yeah, it was a really cool event, and at first you don't realize that you've been kind of following, you know, having an imposter with you, and then you realize that there was one big giveaway that it wasn't actually Albedo. Right here, the real Albedo has a star right there on his neck. The imposter didn't. So while we were, playing the game, we thought, okay, this Albedo is a little, as the kids say, a little sus. But we couldn't quite figure it out. And then we find out that it was a whopper flower. It's like, well, how could you tell that it was fake? Because his neck, he didn't have that star that Albedo has. So it was really, really clever when you finally saw it. You're like, how did I not notice this? How did I not notice something as simple as Albedo, this fake Albedo not having that star on his neck where it should be? And we call ourselves gamers.
At number 12, we have Milo's Dance of Sagittarius.
The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the Dance of Sub-Zeros. I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Milu's dance.
Next cutscene in our list is Battle Between Gods. Coming out at number 11, the first stage of Brewer.
This is supposed to be a battle between gods, yet you choose to hide behind a mortal. And now, you're acting like you'd sacrifice yourself for a human. Are you having fun proving a false sense of heroism to yourself, Brewer?
The data collection is almost complete. Do you even know how many times you've tried to take my gnosis from me? We just concluded the 168th loop. Did you know that in the effort to create you, the people of Sumeru were forced to live through the exact same number of Sub-Zerus festivals and Samsara cycles?
The power of dreams. When did you use it on me? You can't even defeat me in a dream. What do you hope to achieve with this little trick?
Come, Traveler. Just like before. Allow me to awaken the memories in your dreams. All that battle experience! It's more than that. Compile everyone's wisdom in the name of the Archon. That is the original function of the Akasha. I've sent everything that happened just now to the people of Sumeru in the form of knowledge. I've asked them to help you find a way to defeat the false god. Now, all of Sumeru's wisdom is at your disposal.
Meaningless tricks won't save you. Are you done with your tricks? Can I finally take this as a real battle between gods?
I'll leave this to you, the first sage of Brewer.
Yeah, that moment where people thought like, oh crap, Nahida just died. And then it's like, do you know how many times you've tried to take my gnosis from me already? 168 cycles we've been through. 168, and you failed every single time. But yeah, that was a great moment because, you know, Scaramouche was introduced all the way back in Mondstadt. And he was so mysterious back then, but then we kind of get a little bit of glimpse of him in, you know, Zuma with the Delusion Factory and stuff like that. And we see that we learn that he is in fact a puppet that was created by A. You know, in addition to the Raiden Shogun puppets, some of which were disposed of, he was taken by the Fatui after kind of wandering around on his own, which is why he was the Wanderer. And then they saw it as a chance to create a god. And that's one of the things the Doctor is trying to do, is like trying to create a god. So, you know, there was that. But yeah, it was a great moment. It was a bit of a longer one, but it's well worth it because it's so good. And how he does succeed in becoming godlike, but he still lacks the wisdom of the god of wisdom. So even though Nahida is no greater Lord Rukkhadevata, she's still extremely smart. And she pulled the freaking Itachi, some Itachi crap. Like, he was under the Genjutsu before he even noticed. It's like, when did you, what? And she's like, oh, Sharingan.
We are finally at top 10 best cutscenes. Coming in at number 10, Travelers saving Thomas' vision.
Capable of using elemental energy without a vision. You are an exception, it appears. Exceptions, the enemy of eternity.
Don't make me tap the sign. None can contend with the supreme power of the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi.
You will be inlaid upon this statue.
Coming out at number 9, we have Scaramouche getting his vision.
You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled. This is my...
Is he alright?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Coming out at number 8.
So yeah, that was a huge moment, and it was surprising that he didn't keep the Electro element. You know, he just goes, "Oh yeah, I'm Electro," and now all of a sudden he's, you know, he was like, "Here you go, take this. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this." And it turns out it's an Electro Vision or Animo Vision, which is kind of weird because, you know, but then again, he does kind of float around like wind and air, so I guess it makes sense. But yeah, I'm just surprised they didn't keep him with the Electro. You know, we were so used to seeing that, and even his clothes changed once he got a different vision. So
We have Traveler versus Raiden Shogun Final Battle.
Jesus, how many times do I need to tap the sign? None can contend with the supreme power of the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi.
Dear me, aren't you cutting it rather close?
Miko, this was your doing?
Now. Don't forget who taught you how to place your consciousness in objects. Surely you don't think your ambition alone is enough to shake A's will, do you? Though you alone are here, they too have ambitions, which they long since entrusted to you. Now then, close your eyes.
We can abolish the Vision Hunt Decree.
Coming out of
The power of friendship. No, but that really was a cool moment. But it just shows that none can contend with the supreme power of the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi. Because we alone couldn't beat her. We couldn't. She just wiped us the first time we met, and then with that battle, we had to rely on an outside force to at least prevent us from losing our elemental ability. So it just shows how strong the Raiden Shogun actually is, because she was just kind of toying with us the entire time.
We unite as one,
Baptized by the Turnfire.
Bearing an ancient blessing.
knowing true power.
And accepting a fate of devotion.
We embrace the transcendent flame.
For Natlan!
In the name of the Pyro Archon Haberin, I declare the Night Wars underway! The Ode of Resurrection will guard all life till the war is over!
Yeah, the seeing the breaking of the sky to see this shattered moon, that was insane. I remember when I first saw that, I'm like, what the fuck? What the? We knew about the false sky for a long time. Scaramouche mentioned the false sky like the first time we met him. But now after that, it's been 4 years and they've been kind of hinting at this false sky. And then we finally get to see it. We get to see the sky actually shatter and this space out there with this shattered, broken moon. And that's all we ever see of it. It's like, well, here's your little teaser, guys. Just to let you know that that false sky thing is still true. Yeah, the sky you see isn't real. That's why it's the false sky. It's like all data, it looks like. But I mean, that whole cinematic is amazing, but just that image. I mean, imagine looking up and seeing a broken sky in the real world. How would you even comprehend the what's going on? You know, you've got all these people looking up and there's this broken sky with a shattered moon, and it's like, what? It's like trying to comprehend the appearance of an old god or elder gods or any kind of eldritch terror. You can't wrap your mind around it. You'll eventually go insane from it. But yeah, that was probably like the best point of the cinematic, was seeing the broken sky and knowing that the sky was indeed fake.
Coming out at number 6, one of my favorite cousins, we have Arlegena's Crimson Moon.
You should know better than to crowd in one place.
Oh, I know.
No! I'm sorry, Father!
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack.
Father, no!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
A crimson moon. I can't move.
Still, not strong enough to beat me.
Oh, Father. Yeah, it's insane how strong she is. You have the Traveler, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine all going at her, and she still wipes the floor with them. The Traveler alone, who's already fought gods, gets their ass handed to him by Arlecchino. So she's on a totally different level, and people are like, "Oh God, she's so mean." No, she actually cares about her children a lot. And the reason she's tough on them like that is she wants to make sure that they are able to take care of themselves when she's not around. Because if you're a part of the Fatui, you know, you can't always have father around, you know, cleaning up after you. And the less children she loses, the better. So it's tough love. It's like, you need to be prepared. You know, other people may not be as merciful as I, you know, because I'm the person who cares for you. You might meet people who will try to actually kill you. And I want to make sure that you children are ready for that. So it's also kind of sweet that she kind of considers the Traveler as one of her children as well at this point. You know, kind of treating them the same as, you know, her children, you know, like Linny, Lynette, Fremine. Because she's also training the Traveler. So I think it's really sweet that she kind of, you know, it's clear that she cares for us. She's just, you know, she's got her own way of doing it.
Alright, before we continue to our top 5, here are some honorable mentions. Traveler's Dream.
What did he just call me?
Traveler!
Neuvillette One Punch Child.
He's activating his spell legacy!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Traveler reunited again.
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time. Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too.
Coming out at number 5, we have Shenhe versus Vortex Avenger.
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all. At least if you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part.
So the Cloud Retainer says, truly become a part of human society. I don't know who recorded this, but I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought maybe my freaking computer crashed or some crap. Yeah, that was a great moment because, you know, Shenhe was basically seen as like a curse and stuff like that, but you know, she was picked up by the Adepti, so she's fully human, but she's got the strength of an Adepti, because she was trained with Cloud Retainer and, you know, Moon Carver, Mountain Shaper, but mostly Cloud Retainer. She seems to be the mother. So while the other two cahoots, you know, the old coots and cahoots are off doing whatever they're doing, she's being the motherly figure and training and teaching and this and that, telling stories that no one wants to listen to. But you know, you see in Yunjin's little opera, yeah, we already knew the story, but like the her hair, you know, the red strings and all that, that's to, you know, basically to keep her emotions in check, because if she doesn't, bad things happen. But she kind of had to withhold her power, but also learn how to act like a normal human being, which is why Cloud Retainer's like, you know, day you can use your strength to help others, and that day you can truly become part of human society. You know, so she saw this as a moment like, okay, the Traveler has done everything for me. They've helped me, they've cared for me, you know, and now the place I call home is being threatened by this. So this is my chance to show everyone that I can be part of human society by protecting them. And it was a great moment. It was really a great moment. Shenhe is badass, completely badass. And her design, they knew what they were doing with her. I mean, besides, you know, the sides, a little bit of skin for the people, they got for the feet people. I mean, she's got everything. She's got a little bit of everything for everyone. So they knew, they understood the assignment.
Number 4, we have one of the most loved cutscenes. Kazuha activating his second vision.
There will always be those who dare to brave the lightning's glow.
Kazuha, don't do it! Don't you know that?
None can contend with the supreme power of the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi!
So we meet again.
Coming at number 3, we have Pyro Archon versus the Captain fight.
The Archon of Natlan. A force to be reckoned with. The secret of the ley lines is no secret to me. Long have they been destined for ruin. And since the oath made 5 centuries ago remains unfulfilled, what use is the Gnosis in your hands?
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
In times of crisis, someone must pick up the mantle of salvation. Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan. But before the dawn of a new age, The old must be destroyed.
I assume that's the end of your speech? Good. People like us. Let our blades do the talking! Masters of the Night Wind. Send word. The captain and his followers must be apprehended.
Coming at a
Yeah, the captain. Oh, Captain, my captain. One of the coolest characters introduced. But they basically made Mawika into a one-punch woman. She just loves punching things. And when she punches things, they explode. But yeah, I remember the first time I'm like, what in the name of Dragon Ball is this? You know, because you have the boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and I was like, this is when you think of powerful beings like the Archon and the Captain. These are the kinds of battles you're expecting. A full display of not only physical strength, but elemental strength of you know, physical prowess, but also speed. You know, because sometimes strength doesn't matter if you're not fast enough to catch the person. So each of them, you know, one flows like ice and one blazes around like fire. But obviously the upper hand clearly goes to Mawika since, you know, Pyro melts Cryo, so she already has the typing advantage like a freaking Pokemon. But yeah, it was such a great cutscene. And I'm like, wow, we haven't seen something like this in really ever.
Number 2. One of the most amazing cutscenes in Genshin Impact history. Shao's sacrifice.
Everyone, stand back.
I shall hold the line by sealing the surface.
As Yakshas, we must fight for this world. General Alatus, falling in! Watch out!
This trip may be dangerous, yet you insist on going.
I have guarded this place for several hundred years. Only to seek the nameless Yaksha do I request your approval.
Your strength won't last.
And number 1.
Yeah, great moment. We get to learn more about Zhao, the Yaksha. Learn more how caring he actually is. Of course, we already kind of knew he was caring, but you also have Kuki and Ito with us. We have Yelan. We have Yanfei. We just this whole ragtag team of people, and we're all trying to help Zhao out. And at the very end, you see Daddy Big Dong Zhang, helping out him at Zhao at the end, instead of letting him fall to his death and die and whatever, sacrifice himself. He was like, nope, you'll die eventually, but now's not the day. So I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to protect my people. So, but it was a great moment. It was a really fun quest. It gave us a reason to go into the chasm. And it was just a really cool quest, getting to learn about the Yaksha and all that.
We have the most emotional moment in Genshin Impact of all time. We have 4 colors there.
Every single time, man. Every time. Like it's like one of those things where you're not going to cry, but you're going to tear up, because when you play the game and you go through the story and you know what rain in Fontaine symbolizes, or what it actually is, God, this scene hits so freaking hard, like a fucking truck. So obviously I'm not going to sit here and but I might get a little it is such good writing, man. The music, it's so good.
Hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Ex Nouvellette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
I'm not crying. This is just an overflow of hydro from my person. So people are usually hold it together until they get to that part where he bursts out and it's pouring rain, because the rain is connected to his emotions. So basically, he is bawling his eyes out. You know, the whole hydro dragon, don't cry. When he cries or he feels like that kind of, you know, sadness, it starts to rain, because he's the Hydro Dragon Sovereign. He is Hydro itself. So when he cries or he has that emotion, it rains out. So, you know, you see a little drizzle here, a little drizzle there. It's like, oh, Nouvellette's probably not feeling too good. But here we see him, it's pouring rain out. Why? Because he just witnessed Focalors basically sacrifice herself in order to save Fontaine. 500 years of hiding and planning and strategizing and putting her faith in Nouvellette and Farina and whoever else. You know, he sees that, you know, one, that the heavenly principles, something's got to be done about them. And he sees that, you know, the humans who he was most likely going to condemn and leave to their fate because he didn't care about them in the beginning. That's why he was brought in as Eudex, so he can live amongst them, to learn who they are, to know that they aren't, you know, these sinful people, that they have families and lives, they have feelings. And by this point, when it finally happens, Focalors hoped that he would have enough compassion to resolve them of the sins, to see that it wasn't their fault, that Egeria just did what she thought was best for her familiars, these Oceanid who just wanted to be human. So he sees no reason to hold the people now accountable for something that happened ages ago, due to a person who just wanted the best for her people, her familiars. So it's pouring rain, and it's because he's crying, like not just crying, bawling his eyes out, even though it's physically not there. The rain represents that emotion. So it's pouring rain. let that show his emotion. But something a little less doom and gloom. We're gonna one more. It's a more of a current one, kind of, but so beautiful. All right, this is from Mizuki's story quest, Dream Eater's Melancholia. Great quest, really good quest, great writing. Mizuki is, despite the fact as a unit she's like crap, she's a really, really, really awesome character. Being a yokai, being a Baku who, being that devours dreams, and you know, she kind of tells you the ins and outs of being a Baku, and you know that every dream has a flavor, and that nightmares have a very distinct flavor, and the more powerful the emotion that you're feeling in dreams, the more flavorful they are, whether it be dreams or nightmares. The more extreme the feeling, the more potent the flavor. But this is at the end of the quest. We're fighting a being that was supposed to be eradicated ages ago, but they reemerged because they were hiding like a coward. But the next part of the cutscene, or this part of the quest is, it's so good. It's so good.
Hold on tight. The Yomeku Ibaku are getting to work.
They're so freaking cute. God, it's so good. So, I don't know what it is. This, like, okay, I love this. Like, this shot right here. Like, so much so. So much so. Let me go ahead and... It's such a gorgeous shot. It's so fucking gorgeous. Yeah, where were we? Oh yeah, Tokyo. Tokyo. There we go. But it's just, I don't know why. And I've seen other people like, oh my God, this is so freaking gorgeous. But there's just something about this part, the way the music is. Like what we're seeing now, all these little, these are all nightmares. These are all nightmares. And I love how that it looks like it's even coming from Tenshukaku. But we have this beautiful pullout of Inazuma City. Tenshukaku Palace right there, looking gorgeous. And all throughout, you've got this little glow and these little tiny dots that look almost like stars, but they're actually nightmares. And it's like, holy crap. It's so good. The music going from very whimsical to showing you this, and like, it kind of like calms down. You know, like, hey, look, this looks really bad. It looks really bad right now, but it's gonna be okay. It's just like, honestly, just take a listen to it. Like, the music goes from very, you know, faster paced and you know, whimsical to this very calm, somber kind of reminder, like, hey, you know, it looks bad over there, but everything's gonna be, it's gonna be fine. And I don't know what it is, that combination of the kind of those angelic vocals coming in just as they're showing Inazuma City. It's just so fucking good. One of my favorite cutscenes in the entirety of Genshin Impact, because it's so simple, but that beautiful shot of Inazuma City with these nightmares that are, you know, going on. And yet they look like stars. And I noticed, if you notice the lack of stars in the sky, almost like they wanted these to be the stars that you saw. You know, you have like right there, but the severe lack of them, like you can still kind of see them, but they're being, you know, by these. Again, these are nightmares. These are nightmares, but yet they're glowing and shining like stars. Even from, it kind of makes you wonder, what is A dreaming about right now if she's having possible nightmares as well? You know, because it's coming from all over Inazuma City, assuming Tenshukaku Palace as well. So that would mean that in these nightmares, that they're A's nightmares as well, that they're mixed in as well. But it's just that shot right there, the vocals of, you know, kind of the little angelic of like kind of going high and then kind of going low. You know, the music kind of mellowing out, more somber but very hopeful because you know it's gonna be okay now. It's just so good. It's so good. But yeah, this is probably one of the best, you know, kind of a pick me up kind of thing. But God, it's so good. But that was some cutscenes that were amazing. There's another one, but I think I can probably just click them all separately and do that next time or something. But you know, but anyway, let me know your favorite moment in Genshin up to this point. It doesn't matter if it's a cutscene in a, you know, world quest or story quest or the Archon quest. It doesn't matter. Just favorite moment. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.